Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sup? How's it going? How's everyone? How is everyone? Hi. Hi. I also turned on my my internal lights. Actually, no, I haven't turned on my internal lights. That's professional. Wunderbar. How is everyone today? How is everyone? What have you guys been doing? So, plan of action for today is start work on finishing the setup for my Kerbal save. There's a few things that I want to work out. There's a few things that I need to figure out and stuff, and I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to do that relatively quickly. It's not going to take too long of my time. I kind of want to spend like 3 hours on it, maybe. Getting it all set up and ready to go. We probably won't play it today, but it will mean that we will get to play it next week, I think, hopefully. I've already kind of, for the most part, set up my engineering save. Yeah, I've already set up my engineering save. Which yeah, that wasn't too difficult. There's a few things I want to work out on. Is the sub-assemblies. I'm ignoring whether to set up like proper sub-assembly groups for the craft files and things, because if I'm still doing an engineering save and a mission mode save, then the problem that we're going to have is that the sub-files don't cross over between the two. Anyway, let's have a look at this real quick. Ow! There we go. Okay, we're good. So this is the WombleX Mk4 plan. I thought I'd break this down and go through this first, just so that we're all on the same page. Basically, if you guys haven't seen the WombleX Mk4 save or any of the other WombleX saves, the last, basically what happened with the last save was, during backup, I think, the backup file got corrupted, and then the persistent file from the original one also got corrupted. So basically I got two files that it was just unlucky, I think. I don't think there's anything that I could have done to prevent it, but two files basically got corrupted very, very easily and very, very quickly. I think the backup got corrupted because it might have been interrupted during transfer, during backup onto the external hard drive. But anyway, I lost about 2 years worth of work. Maybe not 2 years, I think it was about 1.5 years when we first started that save. So we lost a lot of work, and I've decided, instead of kind of redoing all the work that we did lose, I thought we could start from scratch, start a brand new save, yeah, let's go for it. But if we're doing a new save, then we kind of went through the other day of everything that I wanted from it, and what other people wanted from it as well, because I wanted to take into consideration chat and interactivity. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to break it down into singular focus missions, because one of the downsides of the old playthrough style was that I wasn't time warping as much, so we never got to do like the big missions like colonizing Duna and going out to like the other planets. Like, we never did that because we did everything in low Kerbal orbit. I kind of want to focus on missions like that now for a bit, because it's been a while since I've done something huge and big like that. The first singular focus mission that we're going to do is a Duna station, but it's not as simple as just a boring old Duna station. It's going to be the bases. It's going to be the base part of... Hey Blasty, how's it going? It's going to be the base part of the Duna station, where basically we'll have a couple of landers, one for Ike, one for Duna, and we can land from the station to like bases and stuff as we can set up. So that'll be like the initial infrastructure that we set up out there. So that's going to be our first main mission that we're going to be focused on. And hopefully it shouldn't take us that long to get through that. Basically, I think the idea is that I will have 2 months to do that IRL time before we start coming up against, like, issues. Now, the 2 months IRL time, that is subject to change. I think I'm going to be a little bit lenient on that because my work schedule is in flux. So some weeks it's like massive, and then other weeks it's like virtually empty, or at least that's how it feels. So it might not be the case. I might decide to get rid of the deadlines on this. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll kind of like trial it for the first few weeks or so. But yeah, pretty much we're going to be designing and launching in the test phases for the big missions and stuff like that on an engineering save. For funding, holy God, my throat today is not happy. For funding, I think I've got allergies coming on. It's that time of year where there's just like a lot of pollen and stuff in the air, and I think it's really aggravating my allergies. Anyway, figuring out the rewards for contract completions, we still need to do that. I'm not... Oh, actually, no, we've done that, didn't we? We did do that. I'm an idiot. Because we said the contracts, we'll get the funds back at the end of each of the missions plus 10%. That's kind of like going to be our funding. We need to figure out how much funding we get for each mission dependent on the mission that we're doing. So if it's like something big, I will estimate how much I kind of need, and then we'll cheat in that amount of money, and then we'll do it. The setup. So this is what we're going to be working on today. The science tree to start off where Mark 3 left off. Can't go to the Monominimus to farm science until after the Duna Station mission, which we already said was going to be first. Unlock all facilities as they were in Mark 3, so that's going to be interesting to be able to do that. After the setup is complete, have 1.5 million funds in the account, because that's our initial setup funds. Start off with about 75. I don't think this matters too much, the 75 rep, but we'll see. And all of the infrastructure is the same as the Mark 3 save as well, so I'll try and remember what our infrastructure was. Point redemption. So this is the thing that I want to try and figure out how to do today. This is the main thing. Basically, we're going to do cheap menu missions. So basically, you guys are going to give me contracts to do, redeemable by Twitch channel points, and basically it'll work like chat contracts. I need some better music on this. This is not jiving with me right now. Hold on. I'm very limited because I'm starting to record the VODs and put them on YouTube, so I'm very limited to the music that we can play in the background now. There we go. We'll go with that. I like the coffee house style of music. Yeah, chat can create basically the Kerbals with the pocket fluff. That's probably going to change. I'm going to change that to just credits or something like that. Within reason, basically. No overly goofy names. So yeah, we can create our own Kerbals with pocket fluff. We need to figure out the cost and the prices for that. I'm actually thinking, I've since we wrote this down, if you're talking big missions, I have a request. Can each Kerbal-fied flight include an abort option for each mission phase? Launch escape, secondary engines for deorbit. Honestly, Blasty, I already do that. Anyway. Free return trajectories. That's the only thing that I don't do. I don't do the free return trajectories, but that's usually because I give enough Delta V in my craft for that. And adequate supplies. Yeah, I don't really do supplies. For Miss Planetary Rendezvous, secondary craft for Duna Ascent. Yeah, so the Duna Ascent, I don't do secondary craft for that. But yeah, no, for the most part, Blasty, I do actually do a lot of that. I do a lot of that, of what you just said, so. Especially for launching Kerbals, we all have escape systems for that, abort options and things. Eventually, I'd like to go to space shuttle operations and spaceplane stuff for Kerbal transfers into space. At the moment, I've got a Soyuz design that's very similar to the Soyuz rocket. And I've also got a 4-person capsule that can return from Duna and go out to the Mun and back. Not land on it, won't land on the Mun, but you can get into low Mun orbit with it. So I've got a few capsules, and they all have escape systems and stuff. Because I'm taking some of the craft files from our last mission mode save to this one, so that we don't have to design and iterate everything from scratch. Because otherwise, it's just going to take too long to set up. How would you do a shuttle launch escape system? I wouldn't, Blasty. I wouldn't do it. If I was recreating the space shuttle, that didn't have a launch escape system, so I wouldn't do it. I would try and get the design of the shuttle correct, so that nothing goes wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't design a launch escape system. I mean, so the shuttle wasn't designed with the launch escape system, but I guess the way that you could do it in Kerbal, because Kerbal's a lot more forgiving than real life, is just jettison the shuttle and have it glide back to the landing site. In the case of emergency throughout the launch. Could actually be quite interesting to see if that would work. Or an escape to orbit kind of thing. Something like that. That could be quite fun. Or maybe do a brand-style shuttle where we have jet engines on the back instead of the... Actually, yeah, a brand-style shuttle, I might do that instead, actually. Maybe that's how we do it, Blasty. Yeah, have a brand-style shuttle that can fly on its own power. In atmosphere. It would make landings way easier. Because then I don't have one shot. Not saying that, I'm usually fairly good with landings, but it's good to have redundancy. LF boosters could shut down in an abort. Well, yeah. So, yeah, we could have liquid fuel boosters as well. That's another idea. Instead of having the SRBs. Yeah, that's another idea, Blasty. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's do that. I'm not going to be able to do that straight off the bat, though, so... Oh, I've had a few really good ideas with that now. I like that. I like that suggestion. I'll have to keep that in mind. I might do a Mark II shuttle first with the Mark II cargo bay. That might be what I design first, and then we'll do the bigger Mark III version and like kind of build infrastructure and stuff for it. But anyway, so spreadsheets. At the moment, I've only got these 3. We need some way to figure out the big missions chosen by poll. So the big missions, we need to be saying, right, this is the mission, this is the boundaries, this is what we've got to do, this is the time that we've got to do it in. I need some way of recording that, and I'm thinking, in the archived one here on Mark III, I'm thinking we do it inside the mission brief thing, because the mission brief here used to just be, this is our long-term goal, these are the rules of the save, and that's it. I'm thinking we could do it in the mission statement, so basically the mission statement is going to be a lot bigger. I'll probably turn this document that I've got here into the mission statement, so that like explain all of these points and stuff at some point, just so that people can come in and they can see this and be like, okay, that makes sense. I've also got the rules here. I'm actually going to get rid of these missions, because I'm going to force time warping anyway, because we're only working on one mission at a time. So I'm going to get rid of that mission. I might get rid of the Kerbal mission as well, the Kerbal contract, but I think I'll leave that in place for the time being. Whoops. That's got to be like 200 days, something. We've just got to scale things up for at least 140 days, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Actually, maybe not 114. We'll keep it at 14 for the time being. Astronauts. So the Kerbals. Get rid of that. The Kerbals. Yeah. That's a big rule. The Kerbals. I want to start a new paragraph here because I want to do something special with the Kerbals. Kerbals should be formed in Kerbal groups. So hire 6 at a time in the cheat menu. Then those Kerbals have to complete tasks to become operational. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. So it's the idea that I had in my head, and this was something that I really liked about the Mark II Kerbal save that we never brought into the Mark III, the WombleX save, was that my pilots always had to do an orbital flight before they could get put on a mission. My scientists had to do something sciencey before they would be able to put on a mission, and the engineers would work as ground staff. So I want to bring that back because I really like that. I think that adds lore to the save, and it means that maybe those 6 Kerbals in that astronaut group are locked off for like 100 Kerbin days, something like that, right? So basically, the first group of astronauts, which will include Jeb, Val, Bob, and Bill, they will not be active until like day 150 or something like that, right? Now, I don't mean that we have to do... See, this is where what I don't want is I don't want to get bogged down with like doing a flight with every single Kerbal or doing something with every single Kerbal. Maybe we just have like, say the scientists, they go and sit in a science module bay just off of the runway somewhere. The engineers go and sit in another building just off of the runway somewhere, and they're like just learning, right? And then the pilots, we get them to do like a few flybys or something in test planes and things like that. I think that could be quite fun, and it'll give me a little bit of variety so that I'm not just like building, like not just launching the big builds. Any interest in building rockets on the lawn? My knowledge of Kerbal isn't there yet. At some point, I would like to do... I think the best way for me to do that, for me to learn that with gantry cranes and stuff, is with space planes. So when I bring in the SSTOs, I will try and mate payloads to the SSTOs and never recover the SSTOs and just refuel them and stuff like that. I think that would be really fun. However, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to build and mate rockets on the grass. I don't think I've got the ability to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, tier 1 launch pad for the entire game. Trucking in fuel and extra parts, taking advantage of new construction mechanics. Yeah, again, like I said last day, I don't think I've quite got the ability to do that yet. So I would like to start off with planes and stuff. But I think our first goal is to launch everything as standard, get the get the Duna space station running, and get the science from Duna, which should help complete the tech tree. Once we complete the tech tree, then I can start doing that. Or at least that's what I would like. So anyway, I'm gonna come off this for a minute. Let's go on to the Kerbal. Let's actually play some Kerbal, right? So let me just show you the engineering save that I worked on. I have done one launch of this. I did a test flight of one of my old SSTOs that I made a long time ago. So the SSTO in question that I was talking about, Blasty, that I would like to mate payloads to, is actually the one that I launched on this save, because I was just testing it out, seeing if it still worked. It will need tweaking, I think. And that was this one, which I think is gorgeous. I think this is one of the best SSTOs, and this is quite an old SSTO now, and I could improve this. I could improve this a lot. I might take these out and move these a little bit, these radial engines there. But yeah, no, this is a gorgeous. This is so beautiful. But yeah, this still works. This still has quite a good. This works actually pretty bang on. This is exactly what I need it to do. I do need to check up on all the fuel flow priority though. I think that was one of the things that I noticed wasn't quite right. Because I think after we're in orbit, I need the center of mass to be like bang on in the center here. So we need like fuel there, and then the rest of the tanks need to be empty. I think that was what we needed to do. So fuel flow priority is key with this. I need to fix it. Right. What else? Okay, so this is what I've done. I've massively got rid of a lot of craft files. I've still got a lot of the craft files from the old engineering save. I've saved them onto a backup hard drive, but that's now in storage now. I'm not gonna touch that again, I don't think. A lot of the stuff that I got rid of was, for instance, here I've got like Alpha 1 Block 1, Alpha 1 Block 2, Alpha 1 Block 2 Revision 1, Alpha 1 Block 2 Revision 3, so on and so forth. I got rid of all of that. I'm not even sure I would use the Alpha 1. In fact, even Revision 1, I don't even need this one, because Revision 1 is the most up-to-date. That's the one that works. We've got like Revision 2. So I got rid of a lot of like the clutter in this save. I'm not even sure I'm going to use the Alpha Boosters, because the Alpha Boosters are like beginning of the game tech, so I might not even use those. The Alpha 1 is quite handy because it's only like it's 2 tons to orbit, so small satellites are quite easy to use. What else? A few things that I kept. I kept the Apollo 11 attempt, even though I haven't worked on this for like 3 years. I'm still, at some point, I am determined to massively update. Like, this is so old. This craft file it's got the old mainsails. You know what I mean? Like, this is how old this thing is. This was one of my first things that I ever built, so I'm kind of attached to this a little bit. But this doesn't have any of the DLC parts. It's even limited with like the 3-meter tanks instead of the 5-meter tanks and stuff. My craft saves end up simply cluttered with plenty of spoiler mark 2. New DLC make a very nice Saturn V nowadays. I know, right? At some point, I want to do the new. I mean, I always thought that this Saturn V was bloody. What I put this together really well. This works. This works fantastic. I'm not sure it still does, but yeah, for all intents purposes, when I made this was one of my best things I made early game. Engine plates are also a game changer. Yeah, look, you can even see this is before engine plates because I'm using nose cones to attach the engines. You know what I mean? Like, I use nose cones to attach the engines. What did I use here? Oh, yeah, the radial attachment points. That was it. That was probably just the attachment point there, because I think that's just a... I thought that was a poodle. It's not a poodle. It's a T45. Yeah, I know, right? It's the old mainsail part. This is how old this craft file is. It's the old mainsail part. It's 3-meter tanks. The fairings updated though, because we have those fairings. Interesting. You've got, you know, you've not got any engine plates. You've not got. I use panels here instead of like other stuff, just to like kind of join it. I've got 2 lander cans clipped in together because I thought that was actually a pretty good idea at the time. Dude, like I said, this was like one of my first. Also, that in the save file that is open. So that's kind of funny actually. Yeah, dude, I put a lot of effort into this, and I was really happy with it. I was really happy with this when I made it. It was an old one. Frank, how's it going? How you doing? Hey Faraday, how's it going? So yeah, anyway, stop getting distracted, Womble. Let's work on what I wanted to do. So anyway, the main boosters that we're going to be using, we're going to be using Boreas, which is my, this is block 2. Actually, the really cool thing is here, inside here, it's got the SSTS. One of the first things I want to send up is the, do you know what I need to do? I need to write out a list of everything I want to do in today's streams. Mods? No, I don't play with mods. I play vanilla. I need to write out a list of everything I want to do today, because I'm just going to get distracted by going down craft files and stuff. The SSTS, that's what I wanted to show. So one of the first things that we're going to launch in the save is actually going to be like a variation on this. This is just a very early game space station. I'm probably going to change the way that the solar arms work, maybe. Yeah, I'll change like a handful of things. I'm not going to focus too hard on it though. But yeah, this is just a very simple space station. Dude, I need to change things like this, because this is like old tech of how to do RCS as well, because they did the update. This reminds me very much of like the Salute station kind of things. You need to start a rocket park on the lawn somewhere, and definitely mount the Saturn sideways for future generations of Kerbals to admire. Do you know what? That's a really cool idea. I really like that. I could hook that up. I could hook that up to like a giant trailer, a crawlway trailer, and just roll it out. And just leave it in the background. So yeah, this will be one of the first... that was a really nice coffee. I've just started having like some brand new blends of coffee, and that one in particular was really nice. So this is one of the first things that I'll be launching. We also will need to, at some point today, I also want to have a look at the DSN. Is it DSN? I feel like it's DSN, Deep Space Network. No, I don't know where it is. Here it is, Geo DSN set. So at some point today I want to have a look at this, because there are some bugs with this. So the main thing is the solar panels. So the problem with the solar panels is that after this has kind of extended, it's flowered out. If this is pointing at the sun and then you time warp, these are not going to pick up solar power. So you lose charge and then you lose control, and that's it.